The Fortnite Chapter 7 storyline explained. Everything you thought you knew about it is wrong, because there is one key thing that we missed in the event. I'll show you in a minute. First, let's cover the basics. We gathered around everybody we could and we defeated the Dark Presence. And in fact, the final blow was done by the Red Cube, who is actually from the last reality, or so we thought. More about that later, but the point of Chapter 7 is we just saved the Chapter 6 island and we are here for a new 0-point shard. But we have a problem, because the last reality is also here to take the shard. And the only people we know that can help us defeat the last reality are the 7. But we have no idea where any of them are. So now we are on the hunt for the 7, but we are not the only ones looking for them. Because a few days ago, before Chapter 7 released, Fortnite posted this. It is a hit list. The way we know this is because there's 7 names, the Imagined, the bus driver, a few others, and then at the bottom they start to write the foundation. But the Imagined is already crossed out and the bus driver is circled. Well, what happens the second we open the Chapter 7 trailer? The bus driver gets shot out of the sky and killed. This is 100% a hit list. And the fact that the Imagined is already crossed out means that the Imagined has already been eliminated. The Imagined was somebody from the 7, and that means we've already been too late for one of them. But if you move all the way down to the bottom of the list, we can see the Foundation. And the Foundation is another member of the 7. We need to find them before whoever has this list does. So the recap, the goal of Chapter 7 is to get the 0-point shard and find the 7 so we can defeat the last reality. It's pretty simple this time, or so we thought. Because in one of the teasers Fortnite posted for Chapter 7, it made a huge plot twist in the storyline. It actually goes all the way back to the very beginning of Fortnite. We'll talk about that later in the video, because first we have some really important Chapter 7 stuff to talk about. The order from the 7 is actually here. She was one of the only ones in the 7 that didn't get captured by the Chrome in Chapter 3. She heard Jones's signal during the event and she made her way to this island. But she also found out that there are other people here trying to get the 0 shard too. You guys may be thinking that the cube cradle we see on the island right now is the one from Chapter 2 Season 8, but it is not. This is a completely different cube cradle. This is a mini version of it. The old one was way bigger and way different, which means that it's somewhere out there, and they might have even made a bunch of these cube cradles to find all of the 0-point shards. But for now, we have something bigger to worry about, because the Dark Voyager has a huge secret. We knew of a Dark Voyager from Chapter 1 Season 3, but something big has happened to him, because now he has a gold cube in his mask. This makes me think he's kind of the new Cube King, and we don't know what he's doing. He's probably leading the charge here to get the 0 shard, but that's about all we know right now. We also know that he was the one that was hired to eliminate the battle bus driver. We don't know if he's the one after the 7 though. We'll just have to watch out in the rest of this storyline. But for now, we do know a huge plot twist in the story. But before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, please subscribe. If we hit 80,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I will give away 5,000 V-Bucks to subscribers. So subscribe and use code PBJ if you buy the Battle Pass. Back in Chapter 2 Season 8, the Cube Queen showed up for the very first time. And when we defeated her at the end of that season, everybody thought that that was kind of it. But she hinted something really big that we are only just now catching on to. In her Cube Queen anthem, or song, she says these lyrics.
You're just a player in my show. And everything you ever thought was true was just part of the play I made for you.
You're just a player in my show. Everything you thought was true was part of the planning for you. She goes on to say even more about that, but we didn't really think about it. We thought it was just some cool thing she was saying and we defeated her, so who cares? But now, if you go to the brand new Fortnite trailer at the very beginning, for a split second, we can see this image. It says, training run complete. Total elapsed time in base reality is 8 years, 9 weeks, 3 days, 9 hours, and 30 minutes. Total simulated time across all iterations is a huge number of years, and the learning phase is complete. Decommissioning error, something protocol, the dark presence, decommissioning anomaly, containment protocol, and then there's runes. Beginning phase 2, executing program, and then a bunch of runes. We don't know what those runes mean, obviously, but the runes that are there show us that this is a message from the last reality. And what they're saying is actually pretty weird, because it says total elapsed time in base reality is 8 years and 9 weeks. If you go back 8 years and 9 weeks from today, it was the release of Fortnite. So for the first 8.5 years of Fortnite, it was all a simulation, and it was all phase 1. We are now entering phase 2. That's why Fortnite has been teasing this season as a new story. But what does this mean? What is the plot twist? This means we thought we defeated the last reality. We thought we defeated the IO. We thought the 7 were missing, but all of this is in some sort of simulation. Everything that's happening seems to be happening at the hands of the last reality. They are choosing what's getting to happen. And it goes right back to the song that the Cube Queen sang. You're just a player in my show. Everything you thought was true was just part of the planning for you. It makes sense. They've been watching for this whole time and learning. That's why it says the learning phase. They were learning how we work in our minds. And we are now moving into phase 2, which we don't know what it is yet. But there is a good chance they are going to do some very bad things, and they're going to take over and actually create the last reality where there's only one and everything else is destroyed. That's what their goal is from the start, and that's what they might start to do now. And that's why it's super important that we find the 7. Because if we can't find the 7, then that means the 0 point is in danger, and that means the last reality is going to get this done. Back to the Chapter 7 stuff. On the island, there is a weird location that does not match up with the rest. And it seems to be the exact same thing that we saw in Chapter 1. The vault. It looks the exact same, and at the top of it, the 0 shard is there. They look to be rebuilding the vault of some sort. They're going to probably put it inside the island. It almost seems like the last reality have control over this reality, and they are going to be doing some things to this world, because this looks like it was built by the last reality. And on the Chapter 7 island, we see an Area 51 type location, but it's a triangle. Somebody put the last reality triangle logo over top of it, and it matches up perfectly, besides we're missing a few other pieces. Which makes us wonder, how much is the last reality gonna do in this season? Some of the biggest event questions that we have that aren't answered right now are, who was piloting the mech? Because the paradigm should be dead. Why did the red cube show up? And why did it defeat the dark presence if it was a part of the last reality? And why is the storm the way it is in this new season? It's almost like the last reality has controlled the new storm and messed with it. That's it for right now, but if you want to see some secrets in Chapter 7, watch the video on the screen. Use code PBJ.